Hey YouTube, this is Wrestling Houston Park Fan 62. In this video, I would like to talk about my overall thoughts about the movie The Menu. Now, if you saw my review yesterday, you would know how I felt about it. So, this video is to talk about more of how I feel about the overall movie itself. Now, first, I want to start with the sets because the sets in this movie are actually quite cool looking. First of all, I don't know if they did film on an actual island or not. Um, but if they did a great job. Now, for the overall sets of the movie, which includes the employees like living quarters and the chef's cottage, the main restaurant and stuff like that. Okay. First of all, the chefs or the employees' living quarters was neat looking, but it sort of reminds you of like a military style bunker or a military style living quarter. I don't know if that was what they were going for or not, but that's what it looked like. The chef's cottage, from at least the outside perspective, looked very cool because it looked like, it was built out of actual wood and stuff. Now, they didn't really show much of the cottage when it came to that sort of thing, so I don't really know if it was or not, but that's what it looked like. Now, the actual dining room slash kitchen itself. Now, that was cool looking because it sort of reminded you of like a fancy restaurant over the ocean or something like that. Um, and it was just kind of neat looking because you can literally see the water. Now, with the kitchen itself, it looked like just like a modern style restaurant kitchen. So you had your grill, your fryers, even though it didn't really show the fryers, your prep table, stuff like that. But the thing that bothered me about that, I know it's a movie, but the thing that bothered me the most was lack of voices throughout the movie. So you would have the chef kind of do this and go next course, and then you would all hear him go, "Yes, chef," like you hear in like Hell's Kitchen or something like that. But there was no like, okay, I'm going to do this, you're going to do that sort of thing, and that's one of the things that sort of bothered me about it. Next is, to a point, all of the kitchen staff were just sort of bland. I mean, other than the occasional yes chef and then the two occasional killing throughout the movie, most of the kitchen staff was just kind of bland. Um, and that's one of the things I'm like, okay, um, because now the thing that I did not particularly like was the scene where the chef asked the, I think, top sous chef or something like that to come in. So he came down and he's like, "This is so and so. He wants to be me, but he's never going to be good enough to be me, and etc. etc. etc." And so he's like, "Okay, you know what to do." So he held a gun to his mouth and bang. Now, that to me was not very cool. The other thing I did not like either was the scene later on in the movie where she's like, "This is Catherine." And Catherine's like, "The chef wanted to F me several times over a 6 month period. And I kept saying no." And how the chef took out like a small pair of scissors and basically stabbed him right in his man area. I personally did not see the point of that. I mean, it's good for the story, but besides the story aspect of it, what is there about it? Now, the ending of the movie, the final scene in the kitchen, was rather confusing because you're basically making human s'mores. And, like, okay, s'mores are good, don't get me wrong, but human s'mores, I I don't know if that was what they were going for or not when they wrote that part of the script. Like, I will say this: the chocolate hat was funny that they put on everybody's head, and then the marshmallow jacket they put over everybody. That was funny. But from there, I don't know. And then the other thing that bothered me about it was when the chef brought up Tyler. And he's like, "We I know you're a chef, so cook." And how Tyler made like a raw lamb with whatever. And then how the chef whispered something in Tyler's ear for about a good 15, 20 seconds. And then Tyler basically got into tears and took his chef's coat off, and you didn't see him after that. So when Margaret went to go get the barrel for something, um, she saw him hanging in what looked like maybe like a kitchen pantry or something. Now, I'm not saying Margaret was the peacekeeper in this movie at all. She was sort of a, I'm going to say it, bitch throughout the movie. But it's just, I don't know. It's like the whole movie itself was just rather weird because it was involving like tastes of different things. Like it looked like sauces that was supposed to taste like bread. I assume that's what they were going for. Like, and then this backstory of like Taco Tuesday from when he was a kid, when the chef was a kid, um, and stuff like that. And it was just, I don't know. It was one of those things that I'm like, okay, it's good we're getting a backstory to this, but okay. Now, which leads me into the tortillas for the tacos. Now, the part I found funny with that is how Elsa kept saying these are tortillas, like they're child. And I mean, that was pretty funny. I will say that much. But from there, I I don't know because it was rather weird to see like instead of just plopping down regular tortillas on their table and be like enjoy, each tortilla had something different. So for example, for Margaret and Tyler's table, the tortilla showed Tyler taking pictures of the food. Or Catherine and her husband, it showed her husband sitting with another woman. Or with the three guys, Dale, Richard, and Dave, I think it was. Um, how like it showed like I think it was like bank fraud stuff or something like that. And so different stuff like that. And I mean, that is a clever idea. I give it that because that's something you really don't ever see in like food style horror movies. Now, the food itself. Now, besides the taco course of it, a lot of the food looked rather interesting. Am I saying a good way or a bad way? Now, this is for you to decide. Now, okay, for example, when the chef talked about bread and how it was made for the lower class to kind of fill up on and stuff like that, it now, am I saying the chef was an idiot for serving sauces instead of bread? No. But I'm just saying it's like what are these sauces supposed to look like or supposed to taste like? Are they supposed to taste like bread Are they supposed to taste like sauce? What? Um, and then um, so it's different stuff like that. The other part I really did not get in the movie was the scene. I think this was going into the fourth course or the fifth course. The scene where it showed, I guess, the person at, in the movie who was financially supporting this restaurant. He was hanging on some wires over the ocean, and he woke up and he looked down and saw him floating over the ocean, and he was struggling, and then you could see him starting to lower down, 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 and then he got to the ocean and then nothing. And then how the chef was like, listen, 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 silence. I'm like, okay. And so it's different stuff like that. Now, to wrap up this, what do I think about the movie overall? Okay. The movie overall is good, but weird. Now, is it the good weird or the bad weird? That's for you to decide. Now, I want you to see the movie for yourself and see what you think. If you have seen the movie, um, put down below what you think about it and thought of it, and would you recommend it or not?